Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. It's a start of a new week, and this is going to be the busiest week that we've had so far in this transfer window. We're expecting 4 deals to be completed this week. Yes, 4 deals to be completed this week. We are playing our first preseason game on Saturday behind closed doors against Watford, and then after that, the players will be jetting off to Asia to play against AC Milan, Newcastle, and Tottenham. So things have to quicken up this week, and it looks like it's going to do that. So let's start with the first one. Let's get through all of them, and this is Gyökeres. First up, Fabrizio has confirmed the deal between Arsenal and Sporting for Viktor Gyökeres is now being sealed tonight with all parties involved. So this was last night after agent's decision to reduce his 10% compensation. Arsenal will pay initial fee of 63.5 million euros and 10 million in add-ons. So 73.5 million total package. That is in euros. In pounds, it's around 64 million pounds. So that is an absolutely stunning deal because for me, when we were being linked to this player for the first time, and at the moment we started hearing things about, could we get Gyökeres and all that, I was thinking this player would cost us like 85 million plus some add-ons. But for us to negotiate it down to that point and Bata standing firm and saying, listen, we are not going to pay that 80 million euros total package from our own pocket, we're not going to do all of that. And I was actually surprised that they didn't rate him higher than that. I thought he was for sure going to be more than 80 million. Now, Bata was never going to budge. Us were never going to budge. They were never just going to accept and say, you know what? Yeah, we're going to pay you the money that you want. And for Sporting, the way you had the president talking over the weekend, he was never going to reduce that money. You'd have been wasting time. And that guy literally said, we're happy to keep him for the next 3 years. He doesn't even have to play. We're not going to sell him unless you actually reach his market value. So that is what the president said. And for Arsenal, we were told we are not going to go above that money. We feel like 65 million is the correct price for him. Now, someone had to come in to help this situation because I don't think anyone would have budged. That would have ego. All parties were full of ego here because if Arsenal just accept and say, yeah, we are going to accept that we are going to pay 80 million, it would look very bad after you said, no, you're not going to pay it, you're not going to pay it. And then finally saying, yeah, you're going to pay it. Every other team will be like, okay, it's so easy to negotiate against Arsenal with Arsenal. We'll just make them pay 80, 90 million, they'll always pay. And the Sporting president knows after whatever he said this weekend, there was no way he was going to let the player go for less than that. So how did we get that money? How did we get that eventually get to whatever Sporting wanted? It's because of Gyökeres' agent. Now, we already know Gyökeres gave away his 2 million for us to sign him. That was already incredible enough. His agent has now given up his own money to allow us to sign him. And for Gyökeres, it was 2 million. For the agent, it's more than 8 million that is given away for us to be able to sign him. So usually when a deal is done, there's something that the agent gets, a bit of money. This agent is not going to get that. He's waived it. He said, listen, I'm going to cancel that as long as Arsenal can get my client, I'm absolutely happy. So that is big. Gyökeres and his agent have done incredible work for us to get this deal done. If he wasn't that keen on joining us, it would have been problematic to try and get him because other teams would have joined in and Sporting would just have said, no, you're not going to move at all. But the fact that the player is pushing and the agent has been pushing as well, and they're trying to get this deal done. And Atsa wants the player before preseason, and Bata, knows how to play his cards, knows how to move in and around the transfer window. Things have worked as fast in this deal. That's why I've always said I'm 90% confident you're going to get the deal done. Now I'm 100% confident Gyökeres will be donning an Arsenal shirt very, very soon. Now, this is what was reported from Chris Whitley. Viktor Gyökeres' agent Hassan Ketinkaya is expected to forego a portion of his agent commission from the transfer to help Arsenal meet Sporting's demands. So, absolutely fantastic. I don't know how it came to happen. Did Hassan himself sit down and think, you know what, I'm just going to give up my agent fees as long as Gyökeres goes to Arsenal? Or did Gyökeres approach Hassan and tell him, listen, I'm really desperate for this move. I want to go to Arsenal. To go to Arsenal is a dream for me, and the president is not going to change anything. How can we make this deal happen? And then maybe convinced Hassan to do that. Or did Andrea Bata, with his connections, speak to Gyökeres and his agent and maybe promised, promised good things at Arsenal. And listen, if you give up your own money, you're going to come to Arsenal, and a lot of good things are going to happen to you, whether it's in terms of, game time or just promise him that, hey, it's going to be a good deal, as we keep on working together for the next few years. Maybe I'm also going to help you out sometime. Maybe that's the case, and they've come to agree that he's going to give up his own money to allow Arsenal to sign him. So that is fantastic. We are only signing him for around £64 million, and 8 million of that is in add-ons. So right now you're only giving them 54 million, which is incredible. 54 million for someone who scored 100 goals in 2 years and then add-ons later. Absolutely fantastic. This is a big deal for us. We're finally getting it done after a long time. We've been asking for a striker for a long time. I mean, some of you, to be fair, have been asking for a striker for 3 years. For me, I've been asking for a striker for 2 years. After the 22-23 season, I didn't want a striker, but after the 23-24 season, even though we were scoring 6 goals against Sheffield, 6 goals against Burnley, and beating all these other teams, I was like, that is the only position that we can keep on improving. We've tried improving our goalkeeper. We've tried improving our defense. It has worked out. The only thing that we haven't tried is to change our striker and have a proper striker there. Finally, we are going to have one, so that is fantastic. Now, Gyökeres is not the only deal that will be done this week. There's other deals that will be done this week, so this is going to be a very, very busy week for Arsenal. Next up, Mosquera. According to Fabrizio, Christian Mosquera has been clear with Valencia. He wants to join Arsenal. The agreement on personal terms has been done and sealed for weeks. New rounds of talks next week to get the deal done. No chance for Mosquera to sign new deal at Valencia. So I think we made a bid of around 14 million euros for Mosquera. It seems like, I think it's already 2 weeks ago now. And then it was quickly rejected by Valencia. And then all of a sudden, over the last 2 weeks, it went quiet. So people are like, okay, are Arsenal going to go back for him? Or are we going to move to different players? Or, what is happening in that deal? And Valencia maybe thought so as well, and they actually offered Mosquera a new deal, but Mosquera rejected and said, no, I want to go to Arsenal. I'm not signing a new deal. So my thinking is maybe Arsenal have been focused with the other deals, trying to get the other deals finalized, Nogard, Madueke, Gyökeres, and they've maybe thought, the Mosquera one is a bit easier to do. Let's go and finish these other deals. Mosquera is not signing a new contract. He's rejected a new contract. Let's finish the others and then come back for Mosquera. And the deal is, I think Valencia want like 20 million euros only, which is around 16-17 million pounds. And Arsenal felt like this deal is going to be easy to do. Let's finalize the others and then get back to this one. So I think we're going to get it done this week, as Fabrice has reported in a couple of other reports as well. I've said that we are going to go back for Mosquera this week and try to get the deal done. I don't know if it's next up. So yeah, Fabrice also says alongside Gyökeres deal close, Arsenal are also planning to advance on Christian Mosquera deal with Valencia next week, as player only wants Arsenal. So we are going to go back for Mosquera this week and trying to finalize it. I think there was also another update from Spain, if I can find it. There was another, okay, I've got it. There's another update from Spain also saying that we're actually going to make a second bid as early as this week. We're going to go back to Nwaneri. So this was Arsenal are preparing a new offer to finalize the Mosquera deal as soon as possible. Arsenal will increase the value from the previous offer to secure the deal and allow the player to join the team quickly. This is already so crazy to me, because I never thought you were going to sign so many players. At the beginning of the transfer window, I said, hey, obviously get me a backup goalkeeper that can be late in the transfer window. Get me an extra defender because of the injuries that can be later on in the transfer window. But I said, as of now, we want to get a striker for sure, first deal. Get me a left winger, and then get me an extra attacker. So either a number 10 to help out Odegaard, or a backup to help Saka, or someone who can play the 8 as an attacker. Those are the 5 signings I wanted. And I said for a defender, if you can also get someone who can play in midfield as a backup or something like that, I'm okay with that. But I didn't think it was realistic to ask for 6 signings. So I asked for 5 signings. But now, after we lost both our midfielders, that changed things. And Zubimendi joined us. We already knew about the Zubimendi signing, obviously. So my thinking was, maybe you're not going to get a defender. It's going to be Zubimendi instead, to make it 5 signings. And I thought Arsenal would get maybe 4 at most. But right now, it's looking like we're actually going to get 7 or 8 signings done. Mosquera one, I believe is going to happen. Madueke one is happening. Gyökeres one is happening. So things are looking good in terms of us signing players. We were quiet at some point last month, but so far it's moving so quickly. Now, Noni Madueke. Fabrizio says Noni Madueke will complete final part of his medical at Arsenal in the next 24 hours. So this is last night and also today morning. Noni already in London after deal sealed between the clubs for 48 million plus 4 million in add-ons. So Madueke, has already, I think, undergone the first part of his medical, is now going to undergo the final part of his medical, and then he will be confirmed as an Arsenal player. How soon will Arsenal announce it? I think it could be this week, because players are departing over the weekend, next weekend, to go to Asia. How quickly does he want to come and join up with the team? Because he's been at the Club World Cup. I think players will get a bit of a holiday, or he doesn't want that holiday. He wants to just, come straight back to Arsenal and, get into the preseason, get into the mood, and, get to know the rest of the team. And then get ready for this season. Maybe he wants to do that as well. Maybe he doesn't need the holiday at all. He just wants to be part of the Arsenal team as soon as possible. So that would be great as well. But I think he might get a holiday maybe for a week or two. I don't know how it's going to work out. But let's see. Let's see if he wants to have that tough mentality and say, I'm not going to go to for a holiday. I'm coming to this Arsenal team right now, and I'm going to come and start playing right now. So I already talked about the details. 48 plus 4 million, a lot of money. Every fan knows that. Now he's an Arsenal player. We're going to have to support him and hope that he does well at Arsenal. Very interested to see how he's going to fit in. Is he just going to be solely a backup for Saka, or is he actually going to be starting games on the left side? Don't really rate him as a left winger. I prefer him on the right wing. Left wing, we were looking at some other different players, but now if you also go for someone like an Eze, is he going to also affect Madueke? Is he going to sometimes play as a 10, maybe as a backup for Odegaard sometimes? All that, I'm looking forward to seeing those preseason games to see how they fit in. Because remember, this team still has Nwaneri, still has Odegaard, still has Rice, still has Merino, still has Havertz. So there's still a lot of players in this team. But Madueke will complete this final part of the medical, and he will be an Arsenal player. So those are already 3 deals that you're looking to complete this week. The Madueke one will be an announcement this week. The one for Gyökeres, it will be a here we go, and hopefully an announcement by Arsenal this week as well. And then the Mosquera one, they might want to carry it a bit, but we will actually get all 3 announcements before we go to Asia. So let's see how it goes. Now, this one, I skipped up this last part from Fabrizio. Arsenal are also trying to get a deal done for Ethan Nwaneri in the next days, as progress revealed yesterday. So another deal, this time a new deal for Nwaneri. Obviously, it's been linked to the move away, but Arsenal does not want to do that. Arsenal wants to keep Nwaneri at Arsenal, and looking likely that he will stay at Arsenal, which is big for us. We did not want to lose Nwaneri, especially not to Chelsea. That would have been painful. And the way the Madueke deal happened so quickly, people are a bit worried about, could this mean Nwaneri is the one who's going to leave to move to Chelsea? But no, Nwaneri is going to sign a new contract. And Sami Mokbel as well, as I say on this one, Arsenal are set to make Ethan Nwaneri a formal offer of a new contract. Talks over to accelerate transfer this week amid a will from all parties to reach an agreement. So I'm sure Nwaneri wants to sign a new contract. I'm sure Arsenal want him to sign a new contract. I'm sure most part of it, the agents wants him to sign a new contract. Maybe they're just trying to get him, more game time. I don't think it's anything to do with money. It has something to do with game time. They want him to get enough game time last season, and they wanted to be convinced, because at the moment it was looking like, hey, Madueke will be there, Saka will be there, so Nwaneri is not going to feature there. Odegaard is there. You guys also want Eze. Why is he going to play there? But maybe he has been convinced that there's going to be a lot of game time. The way you're going to be playing, you're going to be using maybe more attacking players and all that. Very convincing. The way that he's also signing up the contract, I don't think these guys are usually told, okay, we're also trying to sell a player. I don't think they're usually told that. But for us fans, we can think it ourselves. Maybe it's been told, there's going to be a spot there. So a player like Trossard, a player like Martinelli, one of them is probably going to leave. But as of now, great news, Nwaneri is going to sign a new contract. His contract is expiring next year. Obviously, his boy has already signed a contract in Lewis Kelly. Gabriel has also signed a new contract. These things are as important as us signing players, getting these new deals done. You don't want to sell, even if you sign Gyökeres and then you sell Gabriel and Lewis Kelly, you still feel the heart of losing a player in one position. You want to keep everyone there. We want Gyökeres and these guys to come in this team and join the likes of Rice, Odegaard, Saka. We want them to join all of these guys in this team so that we can start winning trophies. As we've seen, every other person is winning trophies when it's supposed to be us, because we've been very good the last, at least before last season, we were very good for like 2 years. Let's hope we can be the ones to win a trophy next up. Now, Andrea Bate is working on securing the departures of several Arsenal fringe players. Reece Nelson is in talks to leave the club, while Leandro Trossard is also exploring his options. So Trossard, there's still a chance that he could leave. It's very tough to know this Trossard situation, because 3 days ago, we were told Trossard is going to leave to Fenerbahce, and then we were told Fenerbahce are not going to pay the money, and then we were told Arsenal actually are trying to get him a new deal. I mean, Sami Mokbel and Hand of Arsenal have said that Arsenal are trying to get Trossard a new deal. Does that mean Trossard is the one who's like waiting? Does he actually want to leave? All that. I don't know what is going to happen with Trossard and Martinelli. For Reece Nelson, is definitely going to move on as expected. At the moment, Reece Nelson and Lokonga are actually training with the rest of the team. They're back at Arsenal training with the team. So how long are they going to be out? They probably will feature next week against Watford in the behind closed doors game, but I don't think they're going to be part of this team. Unfortunately, going back to players like Nelson would be moving backwards. Right now, we need to keep on improving our team. We need to keep on going to the next level. That is what we need to keep on doing. We cannot go back to the past. The Guardian reported that Leandro Trossard could be sold to help balance the books, with Bayern Munich the latest club to show an interest in him. The Belgian forward has also been linked with Fenerbahce and clubs in Saudi Arabia, and is likely to cost around 20 million. So there is interest in Trossard. Is he going to accept? Is he willing to move on? I mean, we definitely have to make a decision on Trossard very soon, because Trossard's contract is expiring next year. So we either sell him right now or we give him a new contract so that he doesn't end up leaving next year. And I'm sure one of the other reasons Andrea Bartas joined Arsenal is to also avoid players leaving the club on a free. We need to value our players high and get a bit of money when you're selling these players. So Trossard is definitely one to look at this particular week. CF Bayern have said Bayern Munich are interested in Leandro Trossard. He's one of the candidates if the club cannot sign Luis Diaz. So a lot will happen this week. This will be a very, very busy week for sure in terms of incomings and maybe not confirmed outgoings, but we'll get to know who's going to be leaving Arsenal with the signings that we are making. Now, they also said we'll need to sell players to get Eze. Now, Eze might not be completed this week. That's why I did not include him in this video. The 4 players that we are going to be completed are the ones we've talked about. Eze, hey, if you can make it 5 this week, why not? Before preseason, just imagine all those 5 players in 1 week. That would be mind-blowing. But that's the latest. Big week ahead. Let me know what you make of all that. If you're enjoying all the transfers that you're doing, getting your craze finally, make sure to hit the like button and support the channel. You can also become a member. The link is in the description. It's less than $1 a month to support the page. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next.